What's up, guys? Thanks to social media, the internet, and a bigger than ever following, fans have been able to force the NFL to fix up the many problems in their rulebook. Without public backlash, the league probably would have never changed its catch and pass interference rules. Good on the NFL for making long overdue rule changes. But we'll never stop saying too little too late. We won't forget about all those big plays and games that were altered completely by an officiating mistake. Some calls were so horrible that teams, players, and fans should have simply taken this to a judge for an answer, much like they did with Roger Goodell and the refs of last year's NFC Championship game. You know the play we're talking about. It cost the New Orleans Saints a trip to the Super Bowl. It's pretty much the play that inspired this list after a Louisiana judge ordered Roger Goodell and 3 NFC title game refs to answer questions about the missed call under oath. And it also inspired the NFL to alter their replay system to allow teams to challenge pass interference. So which other NFL plays deserve to be brought to the courtroom? Let's get into the 7 we found. Make sure to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos all the time. New videos all the time. Make sure to comment your video ideas down below. We'll be looking, and if you choose your idea, we'll give you a shout out in the video. Number 7. Early whistle nullifies Browns strip sack of Derek Carr. The Cleveland Browns visited the Oakland Raiders in Week 4 of the 2018 season. Baker Mayfield was establishing himself as a young star in his rookie year, and boy oh boy did he ever dominate in this contest. The Browns led 35-34 with 6.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Cleveland pass rushers got to Derek Carr and apparently strip sacked him. However, officials quickly blew the whistle and ruled it dead. Carr was indeed sacked, but the Raiders maintained possession and would punt it away. The Browns and Raiders would exchange late touchdowns, plus Oakland got a 2-point conversion to force overtime. The Raiders would go on to win, and the Browns rightfully got an explanation from Senior VP of Officiating Al Riveron. He admitted that the officials made a mistake by ruling forward progress on Carr, and that they shouldn't have blown the whistle dead. He said it was not forward progress, and that it was a fumble. If this was a playoff game, you can bet that a disgruntled number of Browns fans would have taken this to court. It would have been an easy case to win as well. Number 6. Mike Williams draws, doesn't commit pass interference. The Los Angeles Chargers visited the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 15 of the 2018 season. Both the AFC West Division and the top seed in the AFC were up for grabs here. A win for the Chiefs would have practically knocked the Chargers out of contention for both. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs held a 28-21 lead in the final seconds of the fourth quarter, but Phillip Rivers had driven the Chargers deep into Kansas City territory. On 3rd and goal, Rivers looked for big wideout Mike Williams in the end zone. The pass fell incomplete, but the officials flagged Kendall Fuller for pass interference, a call that made no sense to Troy Aikman. Go back and watch the play in real time, and you'll see that Williams actually got away with offensive pass interference here. The Chargers took advantage of the lucky blow call. Rivers found Williams in the end zone for a touchdown, and he found him on the game-winning 2-point conversion attempt as well. The Chargers pulled away with a 29-28 victory, but not without controversy. After the NFL introduced its new PI rules in the 2019 offseason, it was reported by NFL media that Riveron cited this play between the Chiefs and Chargers. He said with the new PI rules, both Fuller and Williams would have been flagged for PI on the play, meaning the penalties would offset and the play would be restarted, instead of the Chargers having a fresh set of downs. The Chiefs never took this to court, of course, even though they would have had a slam dunk case. Instead, they stayed focused and went on to reach the AFC Championship game, where they narrowly fell to the New England Patriots. Number 5. Lions screwed twice in 2014 wildcard loss to Cowboys. The Detroit Lions haven't won a playoff game since 1991. They've been one of the saddest teams in the Super Bowl era, and anytime it looks like they'll finally have nice things, something goes awry. Between 1992 and 2018, it's hard to think of a more painful moment than the Lions' 2014 NFC wildcard loss to the Dallas Cowboys. The Lions were on cruise control and looked poised to win their first playoff game in over 2 decades, but the officiating mistake meant more misery in Motown. The first giant officiating miscue took place midway through the fourth quarter. With 8.5 minutes to go, the Lions faced a 3rd and 1 situation, up 3 points. Matthew Stafford looked for Brandon Pettigrew downfield, but he was completely interfered with and the refs threw a flag. However, after some discussion somehow in some way, the officials determined it wasn't pass interference, and they picked up the flag. So the Cowboys got the ball back, and the controversy would not end. Facing a 4th and 6 situation under 6 minutes left, Tony Romo found Jason Witten for a huge catch to give Dallas a fresh set of downs. Lions star Ndamukong Suh was blatantly held during the play, but the refs didn't notice. A few plays later, Romo found Terrence Williams for the game-winning touchdown. The Cowboys escaped by a hair, and the Lions were totally robbed. And NFL head of officials, Dean Blandino, admitted that the Cowboys got away with holding on that play. A bunch of Lions fans have rallied together and taken this to court. They have had such a strong case to make. They were screwed over big time, no other way to put it. Number 4, 2017 AFC Championship. Miles Jack ruled down. Touchdown no nullified. The Jacksonville Jaguars came out of nowhere in 2017 and took home the AFC South crown with a 10-6 record. It was their first postseason berth in 10 years. Led by the dangerous Jacksonville defense and power running back Leonard Fournette, the Jaguars ran away to the AFC Championship game, where they met Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. The Jaguars came out firing and built up a 14-3 lead in the second quarter. The defense held off Brady and the offense for most of the second and third quarters. They went up by 10 in the fourth quarter, needing perhaps just one more big play on defense to finish the job. Early in the fourth quarter, the Patriots ran a trick play, and running back Dion Lewis picked up a big game in Jacksonville's territory. However, Jaguars linebacker Myles Jack made a phenomenal play and stripped the ball out of Lewis's hands. Jack picked up the loose ball and began sprinting towards the end zone, but the refs blew the whistle, believing he was down by contact. The referees correctly ruled that Lewis had fumbled, but they made a horrible mistake in blowing the whistle. Otherwise, Jack had an easy path to a touchdown that would have put Jacksonville up 16, likely putting the game out of reach. You know the rest. Brady and the Patriots stormed back with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and hold on for the 24-20 victory. The biggest play and moment in Jaguars history was ruined by a horrible call that should have gone to court. Go figure. Number 3, Jerry Rice's fumble in 1998 NFC wildcard game. The San Fran 49ers hosted the Green Bay Packers in the 1998 NFC wildcard round at Candlestick Park. It marked the 4th straight year with the two clubs met in the postseason. Brett Favre and the Pack had taken all 3 previous meetings. It was time for some comeuppance in San Francisco. The good news for the 49ers was that they became the beneficiary of one of the worst blown calls in NFL history. Back-and-forth contest saw the 49ers kick a go-ahead field goal with just over 6 minutes left. However, Favre drove the Packers downfield on a surgical drive, capped off by an easy touchdown pass to Antonio Freeman. Now the Packers defense just had to find one way to stop Steve Young, Terrell Owens, and Jerry Rice, something they had done in all the other playoff meetings. But unfortunately for the Packers, it would be different this time around. Again, because of a blown call. With under 45 seconds to go, Young found Rice underneath for a short pass, and the GOAT fumbled. Green Bay recovered. The game was seemingly over, except the refs ruled Rice down. The commentary team pointed out the clear-cut fumble. A few plays later, Young found Owens in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown in the waning seconds. The following season, the NFL would finally introduce a new replay system that allowed coaches challenges and booth reviews. But 2 decades later, you can't help but feel sorry for Favre and the Packers, who were robbed big time on this call. Without a doubt, the Packers would have won this lawsuit in court. Number 2, Super Bowl 40, Matt Hasselbeck's low block. Super Bowl 40 is only a fond memory for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and their fans. For the rest of the football world, especially Seattle Seahawks supporters, it's one of the most disgraceful moments in the history of the NFL. The game is mostly remembered for a handful of awful officiating mistakes, all of which benefited the Steelers. Darrell Jackson's first quarter TD was nullified because of a phantom offensive PI call. Ben Roethlisberger's rushing TD in the second quarter was also controversial because it didn't look like he broke the plane, and there were a ton of awful penalty calls throughout the game, all against Seattle. But the worst came during a pivotal time in the fourth quarter. Matt Hasselbeck was picked off by Ike Taylor deep in Pittsburgh territory. Worse yet, the Seattle QB was flagged for a low block, which baffled the commentary duo of Al Michaels and John Madden. The Steelers would then take advantage of yet another blown call that went their way. They put the game on ice when Antoine Randall L. threw a touchdown pass to Hines Ward on a memorable trick play. Hasselbeck's play, as Michaels noted, was legal because he was making a tackle. It's only a penalty if you hit a blocker low. Taylor was obviously not a blocker on that play. 4 years later, after that controversial Super Bowl, referee Bill Levy admitted his mistakes and apologized. Good on him for owning up to it, but you never want a referee to ever put himself in such a situation in the first place. Number 1, Super Bowl 53. Brandon Cooks doesn't get the ball. Some people might call it karma after the Los Angeles Rams were gifted a spot in the Super Bowl thanks to the Nolan no call. But Sean McVay's team actually has some legitimate beef of their own. 2 weeks after they benefited from the no call, the Rams were victimized by one when the Super Bowl 53 officiating crew missed yet another crucial pass interference call. The play took place under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Patriots leading 10-3. With a fresh set of downs at the New England 27-yard line, Rams QB Jared Goff tossed a rainbow to Brandon Cooks. It was near the end zone and fell incomplete. However, upon further review, Pat's corner Stephon Gilmore could clearly be seen grabbing the arm of the Rams wide out before the ball had arrived. Had Gilmore been flagged for pass interference, the Rams would have had the 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, with a chance to tie the game. Instead, Jared Goff would go on to throw an interception on the very next play, and the rest is history. After the game, the NFL's competition committee admitted that pass interference should have been called on Gilmore, but it wasn't, and that may have cost the Rams the Super Bowl. That's a pretty big missed call right there, which is why it lands on the top spot of our list. What other horrible blown NFL calls could have gone to court? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and following TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos all the time as well. So if you want more of me, you should go there. Go check it out. I post good content, I think. Make sure to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos all the time. Subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click right down there. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. My knee.